Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am filming a book review and I am going to review Mad, Bad and Dangerous to Know by Samira Ahmed. This one is being released on the 7th of April, so very soon, or it has already been released depending when this video goes up. This is a young adult contemporary slash historical fiction slash a mystery. It is my first Samira Ahmed book, so I was very excited because I heard so many great things about her other books and I do have one of them also. I got this from NatGalley in exchange for an honest review as an ARC and I was just so excited that I got an ARC for this. I was just like, whoa, I actually got an ARC of someone and something I was very interested in reading, and that made me very happy. This one is set in Paris. It is set in our time. We follow 17-year-old Kia Maquette, that I know I just can't pronounce. I'm sorry. She's American, French, Indian, and Muslim, and she recently tried to write this very cool and fancy paper to win this reward, but she failed it and didn't win the reward, and like they didn't accept her essay. And now she is trying to still discover this mystery because it's about this painter and this other known writer at that time, and her theory is that the painter gave one of his paintings to this other writer. These are like known historical figures. I just can't pronounce their names. And basically the theory is that there's another original from that painter and that this is a big deal from Dumas. And then she meets Alexandre Dumas, who is a descendant from the painter, and he is also very much interested in solving this mystery and finding out if there is another painter. And they find these clues to like this raven-haired lady and also possibly a treasure. This treasure might be a painting or something else. They hope it is a painting. It confirms maybe her theory that she had in her essay, so that she can prove right what she thought was right all along. And like there's a mystery investigation going through all that. Alexandre and Kayam, of course, might or not kindle. She also is trying to get over her ex that has been ignoring her since she came to France. Even though he never officially called himself her boyfriend, she still like has thoughts about him. Basically, he ghosted her. We also have this mystery of a 19th century Muslim woman who might interact with all these paths and all these historical figures that are looking into, which I'm not going to read the names of, so like I seem like I am smart. It is Alexandre Dumas, which I already mentioned, and Alexandre, the new Alexandre, is related to Eugene de la Croix and of course Lord Byron. I had heard about the names, but like I didn't know that a lot about them because I learned it in school, and who actually remembers what we learned in school? Point is, those paths interconnect and I need to discover like old letters, etc, etc. It's a mystery thing. And then the paths interact with this Muslim woman called Lila, and like we see her perspective in the books as well. And that's basically what the books starts with. That was like, for some reason, a very hard synopsis, but it was not really. First of all, just saying to talk about like something constructive here. I love that it was set in Paris. I have like read a lot of books set in Paris recently this year and I loved it. I loved modern day Paris and just how Kayam, like her identity with being French but also being American and just being every summer in Paris. I just really liked it. I've never been there, but it sounds nice. I really liked her as a character. She is very determined in her opinions, is not afraid to call out like behavior at all, and is very like a feminist, thinks a lot about like how women in history has just been erased because man has taken over and taken their story, or just like they weren't important because they were women, because only the men were important, and talks and thinks about this a lot. And it's a lot about this when she finds Lila and that she wants her story to be discovered. Since her story was buried, she's always just been a figure that like wasn't important because all the men were just important. And I really just liked her. And yeah, Alexandre is adorable. He just seemed very like a sweet French boy. Their dialogue was very fun because he would say things like in French and be like very French in personality compared to her, and I just like the nice distinguished line between them, and I just found them very cute. I like the themes that like women has been buried for centuries and discovering them and discovering Lila, etc. And like the mystery was fine. I was interested. I was a bit confused with all the names at first just because I'm a confused person, I guess. Everything like was under control after a while, and I did really want to know what happened, etc. And then we, as I said, have like parts of the book where we follow Lila and see her life or like her sides of the story. Like that was a good bit for like the ending. I won't spoil it, but like it was good. The point is that I thought like her segments would be longer, but it's much more following present day, and that's fine. But I felt like the other parts could have fit in better or would have been longer and more explanatory, I guess, because they're kind of already giving us a lot of the things we know, even though yes, it's important to see her story from her perspective as well. So I guess that's important. But that does go in issue I have with the book. I wanted more complexity out of Lila and her story, and that's really where my issue lays, is with the writing. Of a lot of the paragraphs were like overlapping each other. That might have been because it was an arc, and this might change in a finished copy. We say things in one paragraph and then we just jump down and we keep talking about the same thing but like over again, so the writing just put me a bit off. I was just like, maybe just talked about this and now we're talking about it more. It felt like when you write a paper and then you write a lot of text and then you're like, oh, I should talk about this a bit more here, so you just put in a paragraph there but it doesn't really fit there. That's how some of the paragraphs in the book felt. So some of the writing just felt a bit disjointed at times. I feel like maybe this might change in the finished copy. I don't know, because like obviously I don't have it, so this might not feel as unnatural later. That's at least the impression I got from it. But looking away from the issues I had with the writing, like the characters are great, the mystery is fun, but also the mystery, like when we get to the answers and when we get to the end, it was kind of like obvious. I had more shocks throughout the story finding more about like the love interest Alexandra than I had about like the mystery we're doing, and that says a lot. So like when we came to the point, I just felt like it wasn't satisfying. I really liked like last part of the mystery. I really liked how that interconnected with the rest of the story, but also I guess it felt unsatisfying because it was so easy. I felt like, yes, it's amazing that these two teens managed to do this all. Kayam is such a character that would be perfect to solve this, and Alexandra is actually related to this whole mystery, so it makes sense that they could do this. But at the same time, it's been like centuries, decades at least, centuries, decades. It's been a long while, so why has no one, historians, people have been looking into these super known people for such a long time, never discovered this? It was so easy, things they found. I was like, but how has no one noticed this sooner? So I was just not convinced that they would be the only ones to find this out. I was just not convinced of that, but that is just my dispense of belief was questioned, and that might change from people to people, but that ruined it kind of for me a bit. Generally, the issues I have with the book, I feel like it's very subjective. It's not a bad book at all. It is fun and cute, has adorable romance, set in Paris, mystery, and diverse. Just talking about like women and history and like how the main character and her identity. Also like even the identity of the painter dude, that he was biracial and stuff, like, so it even comes into place there too. The different themes and characters were very good, and I had fun, and it was super easy to read. So it was never like I didn't want to pick the book up, so that was fine. And yes, I would definitely buy a finished copy, and I would definitely recommend it for like people who like mystery and romance and historical fiction and feminism, and that is actually a word I can't pronounce for some reason. Generally a nice book. I would give it like 3.5 to 75 out of 5 stars. I would round it up to 4 stars. It's very much close to that. And I think that covers what I want to say in this review. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I made sense, because I know that I don't do that most of the time, and you will see me soon in a new video. Goodbye!